welcome to the Messerschmidt build. Let's kick things off with the cockpit, shall we? So a couple of parts we need from the sprue with your side cutters. It looks like we need lots of things. Bit of flash on this bit, so let's just clean this up. This bit goes in there. Get the old extra thin Tamiya cement. You can actually, if you're stuck for, you know, not having a, if you're not on the Amazon or anything, you really need to go to a shop. Hobbycraft do sell that. Get a few other helpful pieces. Oh, this isn't going well. And the other bit is 31. No, 23, 823. Really? Right, I see. This quite good. This is why you need your little snippers, because this is so small. If you did this with a knife, you'd snap a bit off of that. I could guarantee it. Let's just whoa, stab myself in the leg. Well, this is going well, isn't it? Well, this is going well, isn't it, for the first video? Put some glue in here. Get some glue in this one. Tweezers. thing, we've got to find the control stick. 18. Looks like it, yeah. So that's tiny as well. Good old 172. That's the scale, by the way. I'm only building 172 basically because I haven't got the room for the bigger ones. Bit of glue in there. Boosh. And there's seat. There it is. There's his seat, and that there is the cockpit done. Yeah, go out nice. Let that dry. I'll be back when it's dry. I think that's enough. Now dry brushing is basically where you get your brush, dip it in your paint, and then you want to try and get rid of all the paint that's on your brush, almost all of it. And then what you do is you just rub it over the area. And as you can see, the bits tend to pop out. Let's put a look at that. Oh, bit too much paint on that one. Rub that off. Now the next thing is there are a couple of things in here that are black in colour. So let's see if I can find black colour. Put it on the palette or the small plate. This is just an artist coloured black, because matte black is matte black, and it's cheaper to buy that because there's absolutely tons of it in the bottle, and it does the same job as buying Tamiya black for twice the price. Go. And the next thing is just to paint his joystick. in the cockpit. I'll do. Put that brush in the cleaner. The cleaner I use for cleaning acrylics is actually screen wash. So I've got told, well, I watched a couple of YouTube videos once and somebody said it was the best thing for cleaning your brushes, and I'll just use it. You can use just water because that's the acrylic bit, but apparently it's a bit better if you use screen wash, and I use it and I've not really had any problems with it. Couldn't really say it's any better than just water, but let's have a look. I'll tell you what I might do is, oh, where's my little doofree? There it is. Just put a little bit of a sandy colour, some of these bits, just to give it a dirty, sort of a dusty look, not too much. Again, using the weathering master. These are brilliant. If you see these anywhere, grab these. I've had these for ever such a long time. They hardly wear out, and it's a good little technique to use on almost anything. You know, you can put dust on all kinds of vehicles, and it really makes them look dusty. Right, so the next thing we're after is putting the decals onto the dashboard. Always a little tricky. So cut them off the decal sheet with you being careful with your craft knife. These are a good thing to get hold of, your tweezers. The lock shut, so we'll do this one first. Pop it on there, get hold of it. We've got some warm water here. Put it in the warm water for 10 to 15 seconds. Let's get rid of those because we don't need those till the next time. Bring them out, put on a bit of cardboard. Now I'm not going to use the microset and microsol for this because it should just slide straight on. It will be a little bit awkward because it's very small. It's a bit something you might need help with if you're a smaller person. Or if you're like me and your fingers don't work, so there was no real talking there, bit of concentrating. There we go. That's the bottom one on. And then of course the next bit is we do exactly the same for the top, which should be a bit easier. That bottom one was really, really tight. Be quite good. Once we've got this on, should be able to get the two fuselage sections together. Yeah. Start building again. See how I'm getting on with this. Not quite yet. Just to have a play so that it moves about. Sorry, I'm off camera again. I need to keep an eye on that. There we go. Then we just slide the instruments. Straight onto the cockpit. Once they're on there, now they're on there, we can get a little bit of the stage 2, so it'll be this is the bit that makes them soft and lets them conform. Just paint a little bit of this on. Give them a few minutes. Right, so now we've got the cockpit done. Let's get these two halves put together. Now again, if you want the propeller to spin, you can do that. If you follow the instructions, it tells you to build the propeller first and then put a little stopper on the back of it, and if you fit it to the aircraft, then put the fuselage together, you can have the propeller spinning. I don't like that. I just like to glue it on it, so it doesn't bother me if it's going to spin or not. What's my knife? There it is. Yes. Again, just cut it from the sprue and then clean up the parts where the sprue attached it. Nail file. Another good tip is to always test the two pieces together. There we are, fits quite nicely. See if we can get the cockpit glued in. Let's see where this is supposed to go. There is it. Looks like about there. Yeah, that looks good. That together, run the glue along the bottom, hold that together for a few minutes. Grab the pegs. And then we just run the glue around the edge of the plane. Well, this is what I do. You can put it together and then just, this stuff is so thin, you can put the plane together and then run it round. I'll probably do a bit of both, to be fair. down there. Stick the peg on it. Run a little bit of glue in here. Stick the peg on it. Stick another peg in there. That looks like it's going to be quite awkward. There we are. The fuselage is together. Give that a few minutes to dry, and then we'll attack the front half. Right, let's see how the fuselage is holding up. It's all good. Not going to do anything about. Oh, I'll put that in the water. What's going on there? Not going to do the bonnet open or anything. Might do that. I have got another one of these, so I might do one with the bonnet open. Just really make an effort to paint the engine. But I'm not going to. This one, just going to build it as is, just to sort of sit with the Spitfire, really. Quite nice on the shell. Quick test fit before we go on. Yeah, that's all good. Nice. We've got an air intake to go on. Yes. So I'm doing loads of this off camera. Just because I get so into the building, I'm not used to doing the YouTube bit, so I don't tend to do it. You have to do everything away from you. Boom. And I've got like a nice air intake. There we are. Right, now the next bit is the underneath. Another thing I forgot to mention, I haven't mentioned it on any of the other videos either, is when you first open your kit, the best thing to do, I don't always do it because I use a lot of primers, but it is the best thing to do is to wash your sprues with some soapy water. So do like a sink full of fairy up liquid, soapy water, a little splash of vinegar, and then just give you don't go mad because you might break some of the little bits, so you don't want to like scrub it, but just put it in, give it a bit of a wipe over with your hands and give it a bit of a wipe. Then put it down and let it air dry. Don't use a towel or anything to dry it, because you will leave fibres on it. clicked in nicely. There we go. And the front is there. Next thing in the instructions is the tail plane, so let's do those. Messerschmitt's got quite a complicated tail. A little strut, there's some little struts that go on that B12. That's A, so that's handy. There they are. They're very small indeed. So let's give this a sound. There's one bit of the tail, see if we can, there we go, pop that on there for us. I've got to sort out these silly little bits. This is where your side cutters come in really handy, because if you'd have taken that off with a knife, you probably would have snapped it. So let's pop some glue in here. This is definitely going to be a tweezer's job, I reckon. Bit of extra glue. Bit of glue in this side and the wing. And as you can see, the tails together. Right, so that's the fuselage together for the minute. Let's move that out of the way and we can start on the wings. Cut them out. Give them a good sand. You know, I was thinking, do I do a nice little diorama with this and put the wheels up? Have it actually flying. That might be an idea, you know. I'll see what I can get together. See what I can drag out of the cupboard of what I've got. Not a big diorama builder. I'd like to be. Not really. Never really did it and got into it. So, yeah, it's just a good little learning process for all of us, isn't it? So I might give that a go. Yeah. Already painted the wheel well, so this should go on quite nicely. He says. We all know the trouble we have with getting wings on. Now that fits quite nicely. In fact, let's get the glue on it now. Oops. I shall pop a little bit in there. I've got to pop a little bit. Just along there. Stick that on. And we can get the other one involved, can't we? Yeah, pretty good. Sure, I've got another peg in here somewhere. An exhaustible supply. Right, let's give them a few minutes to dry. Right, let me get these pegs off. Yeah, looking good. And the next job is to fit them onto the bottom of the aircraft. Click! Let's just run some glue around the gaps. We're now starting to look more like a Messerschmidt every day. What's next? Flaps. So let's get the flaps on. And then we've got the undercarriage. Air vents. So let's turn this upside down. Let's go with the air vents first, shall we? Sorry, radiators, not air vents, radiators. So we get one in there. That's not bad should fit. Run some glue around there. That one's going to need a bit of a sand. Hopefully this one will snap in like the other one. I was going to say, I think it's a little bit more fiddly than the Spitfire to do as a kit, but that might just be because I'm used to doing Spitfires and not used to doing Messerschmitt. So I think if you did 2 or 3 of these, then you'd there we go. Now the flaps. Yes, I just realised if you want them to be in the horizontal position, you have to cut the little tabs off. So, because they are at either or flap, you can have them in sort of, I'd say down position if it's parked maybe. I don't really know, I'm not sure, I don't know how to fly a plane, so I don't. I'd like to just say personal choice, I suppose. If you like the look of them going down, put them down, but you might find people saying, oh no, if it's flying they need to be in the up position. I don't really know. Or down, I'm not sure which way they go. There we are. A Messerschmitt. So next thing is the undercarriage. So what do? Do we build it up or do we build it down? The basic difference is you glue these two to the undercarriage, glue the wheels to the undercarriage, or you just glue these pieces in. Tell you what, let's build the undercarriage, let's have it sitting down. I'll have the, I'll do the other one. Let me put these bits on first and then, yeah. So that one's 11, and 11 goes this side. fiddly. So I built most of the Messerschmidt, and what I'm going to do now is paint it. So I'm going to use the same masking technique as the Spitfire on this one. So cut your flap, cut your wheels up and then use them to mask up what you've already done at the bottom. So that's the bottom done. We can wash over that with some paint. Sits on its wheels nearly, and then we just need to mask up this little bit here, which is going to be a little bit tricky. Tricky. Doing off camera again. Look. That stops all the paint going and all that hard work you've just done. On the cockpit. Right, and now we're ready to undercoat that and give it a little bit of pre-shading. Back in part 2.